Welcome in, everybody. My name is Necro Ninja, and today we have a very special deck tech for you. We have Darth Viridian with us today. How are you doing, Darth?
I am all right. Thank you for asking. How are you doing, friend?
I'm living the dream. I'm having a little bit of Chicago FOMO right now. I really wish I was at Chicago Con this weekend, but...
Oh, dude, shout out to all my Commander cuties and my friends at Chicago MagicCon. I'm so jealous. I will go one day.
Those lucky bastards.
I know.
So today we have, you said this is your favorite deck, so...
I'm biased because it was my first deck, right? But I feel like it's nasty. It's mean.
It is. This deck right here is definitely going to bring some salt and vinegar to the table. It is a mill deck, and it is helmed by... Who's it helmed by?
Phenax, God of Deception, my boy.
So what I'm going to have you do here is, can you introduce the deck? Tell us what makes it unique to you.
All right, so this is my favorite deck of all time. The deck that got me into Magic, Phenax, God of Deception. I love milling, as you can see. I think it's a little bit toxic, but that's okay. I don't care. There are worse things than mill in Commander and in Magic. Can I just say that? Can we just get that out of the way, please? Mill is not the worst thing ever. Get over it.
There are several
way
things,
worse things than mill.
Like infect.
Don't even get me. I don't even get me started on that, dude. Don't even get me started on that.
All right. So this is your first deck. What inspires you to build a mill deck, and what kind of why does the mill strategy pique your interest?
Okay, so it wasn't like I didn't intentionally, like when I was looking into Magic, I was like, I don't want to play like a card like a mill deck, right? I looked into the colors of Magic and how the colors worked, and blue and black interested me the most. And the fact that, learning that, you can play multiple colors together, I was like, okay. So then I did some research into some blue and black commanders, and originally I came across Merkelvosk Minddrinker because I fucking love vampires, dude. Vampires are so sick. And he does milling. I think I might have him in here. Oh, yes, he's right here. So he was originally going to be my commander, but I don't remember who recommended it to me. Someone was like, no. You need to look at this guy and see what he does. And I was like, oh, he just does that, but way better. Like all my creatures can mill. And it just, I don't know, something about not letting people play their cards is just fun to me. Maybe that's toxic. I'm sorry. It is. That
is the most blue player thing I've ever heard in my life.
I love, dude. Oh, black. Honestly, though, I think black is my favorite. A smidge, just a smidge more. Just a smidge.
And they both do a lot of denying stuff.
Yeah, I like denying people pleasure. That's gonna get taken out of context.
Oh yeah. So what are?
Yeah, sorry, cringe.
What are some of the most important cards in the deck, and what role do they play in your overall strategy?
Oh, honestly, I'm just gonna be straight up. The most important cards in my deck are my big mill spells. So a really good exemplar. Wow, I can speak. A good example here is Fleet Swallower. Whenever it attacks, target player puts the top half of their library rounded up into their graveyard. That's so nasty. And then I have this guy that pretty much does the same thing. And then pair that with... What does that work really well with? Oh, there's another big mill spell, like Traumatize. Round another half of your library. And then cut your losses with the Casualty 2. I can sacrifice a creature and then I can copy it. Do it again. And then combo that, or if you want to call it a combo, with Brewvac, where if an opponent would mill one or more cards, they mill twice that many cards instead. I can mill someone out with like a few cards.
That is scary.
This deck, it either gets so gross and pops off, or I just get targeted out instantly, or I just miss land drops for some fucking reason. And I'm pretty sure we can check here. I should have enough lands. And if I don't, this is really embarrassing because now everyone's going to see this. 35 is okay. That's fine. 35 is the minimum. Don't come for me.
35 is actually a good strategy.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a couple combos. Can you walk us through some of like the key combos, something that you're always looking for when you play the deck?
So I have things that I always look for, and then I have something that now I am always going to be looking for because it's like it's an infinite, not an infinite combo. It's one where it's a win con. So we'll talk about the win con. Laboratory Maniac. If I would draw a card while my library has no cards in it, I win the game instead. That combos with Leveler. When it comes into play, I remove my library from the game. And if, that's if Leveler and everything like that gets to work. My Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, also combos in with that. He's also just another Laboratory Maniac. Do you know if someone gets rid of my Laboratory Maniac, I got Jace.
Yeah, yeah. The Leveler into Laboratory Maniac combo, I know that you attempted that during our game. Which was...
Oh my gosh, I did! Oh my God. I did! I forgot.
Which, by the way, chat, or YouTube, I'm sorry, chat, YouTube.
Chat, Twitch, YouTube,
chat, you're all
wherever,
all
of it.
This is featured in episode 7 of Mana Dorks, so if you do want to see this in action, you go check that out. And yes, she did attempt to level her with a Jace on the battlefield. I think Drake countered the Leveler, though, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yes. Yeah, but he was playing Urza, guys. He was fucking playing. And I'm not happy about it. What was it? I forget. Forgive me. What was his name?
It was Drake.
Drake? Fuck your Urza deck.
I'm sure he'll be watching this.
I'm sorry.
So, are there any cards that you found underperforming in the deck that you might consider cutting for something else?
If I haven't cut them already, yeah. Just let me think for a sec here. If I were actually, I don't know. I've made quite a few changes recently. You know what? If I had to, just scanning my cards, maybe Jace the Perfected Mind. And then someone might be like, what do you mean? It's just because he gets target every time I've played him. And I'm not kidding. Every time without fail. He's gone. Nothing gets to happen. Maybe I get to uptick him the one time. Or I make someone mill 3 cards, but like I usually get him early game, but maybe that's the issue. But it's just overall, truly, I think that's the one card. Whenever I play it, I'm like, it's just kind of sometimes sitting there, or it just goes away. It doesn't work the way it should. But sometimes I think that's just a piloting issue. It might just be me.
Well, I mean, planeswalkers are pretty scary in Commander, and usually, any planeswalker you play, the table usually goes, oh shit. Stop what we're doing, attack the planeswalker.
Exactly.
They are super powerful. So if you were to add or remove to improve the deck's performance, is there any cards that are out now that you think would fit good in the deck?
Yes, I should have put them in my considering on here so I could pull them up. I can't remember the names of them. It's not Mesmeric Orb. Oh, there it is. Mesmeric Orb.
Okay. Oh yeah,
yes.
when a permanent becomes a tap, the controller's permanent.
Yeah, sorry, I was just driving me nuts. I couldn't. My brain was like, you're not gonna remember.
All right, so let's do a couple fun questions here. What's the most memorable or exciting moment that you've had playing this deck?
Listen, man. Every time I get to mill someone out for at least half of their library, it feels so good. But I think the most memorable thing, because it's only happened twice, was me winning with my Leveler Laboratory Maniac Jace combo. It's only happened like twice.
Well, yeah.
Almost 3. But great. Wouldn't let me have fun. So.
I remember you made us all think that you tutored up a board wipe to save the group, but no, you tutored up a leveler.
That's if. Come on, guys. I mean, honestly, if it was something that was absolutely necessary, like to the point where I couldn't have saved myself, then yeah. But no, someone had a counter spell. But hey, blue players, if you're not running counter spells, yeah, I'm saying this. If you're not running enough counter spells and interaction, you're not playing blue properly. Stop it. Do better.
You gotta. There's two things blue does like very well, and that's counter and draw cards. If you're not doing those,
sorry, I'm so aggressive. But just like, ooh, just play interaction, please.
So what's the best advice you can give to someone who wants to build a similar deck to yours?
Don't. Okay, this is gonna sound like hypocritical or contradictory. Don't look at Moxfield decks, honestly, or should I say, the most popular ones. In my experience, like for deck lists, because in my experience, every time I've looked at the most viewed deck lists, it's some jank shit that's just weird. And I'm like, why is this? And there's no synergy. And I'm like, why is it here? Just for ha-has? Like PP haha? Like, is that why it's here? Or it's insanely out of budget. Not everybody has like. There was literally this Phenax deck that I saw. It was like called something to do with millionaire, and I was like, ha, funny, a play on words. The cards were like $300 a piece almost. I was like, oh my god, no, he wasn't kidding. I'm like, nuh-uh. In my opinion, build the cards you think. Do what you want. Do your own research. Build the cards you think are cool, but it doesn't mean don't look at other deck lists. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just more so do what you want first. And if that's not working, then look into what other people are doing. And if you just truly have no clue and you just want to see what other people are doing, then just do that. Just do whatever you want.
So before I go on to this last question, I'm just noticing now that the Cherix and the hover barrier.
My boy. Oh, bro, are we in alphabetical order right now? Because, oh no, there he is. There's my boy.
The good old tap him and mill 17 with your commander out, right?
I mean, oh, you know what? Let's talk about this card. Tree of Perdition. You guys know this card? This fucking card. This card is another one of those cards that I rarely. I mean, sometimes. I mean, back before I've had this deck since like late 2019, so like 2020. The power creep since this deck. I mean, I've made changes, but the power creep in Magic. In fact, Tree of Perdition gets destroyed and just targeted and just so much quicker now, it seems. I don't know why. I had to wait, or maybe people I played with back then were shit. Who knows? But I feel like I just had an easier time in my earlier days of Magic getting this card out and getting everything to work, switching the life total. But now I get to maybe like bring it out and then it gets to my turn and someone's like, which valid. Look at that.
True. I mean, it does. So for you to do the mill plan with the Tree of Perdition, right? It kind of has to live for three turn cycles, because you gotta. Unless
I'm misremembering the card. Let's find out if I'm misremembering. Is it a creature? It is creature. Okay. Well, I need things to untap target permanents. I feel like I should have stuff like that in here. You think I'd know my own deck? You think? You think? ADHD brain. I get overwhelmed with all the cards I look at.
Yeah. So with the tree, you'd have to play it, get through the summoning sickness, tap it, exchange power, like exchange its life total with somebody else, and then say you have Bruac on the field, you could potentially mill somebody for 80 cards if they was full health.
Well, there's a game I played. When was it? I think it was on. Yeah, I was just playing a game with Scrywolf and Ali, myself, and my partner Devin. It was an interesting game. I hit Dev with a Fraying Sanity. We'll pull that up. Where are you, Fraying Sanity? I should just put it in alphabetical order. And I'm sorry, chat, if I'm not acknowledging you. If there's anybody there, hello. I'm busy focusing on this. I'm terrible. But hi and hello, if anyone has said
it. was right there in your enchantments. Fraying Sanity.
Yeah, dude, these two cards, almost indistinguishable. But yeah. So I enchanted him. So I think I hit him with it was one of the big mill spells. It had to have been traumatized or something like that. Oh no, I remember. It was Maddening Cacophony. Oh, Maddening Cacophony is such a good card. Such a good card. So I did pay the kicker. So I milled everybody. So that's even worse. Yeah, that's
dirty.
But he had the Fraying Sanity on him. I love you, Dev, by the way. So he had the Fraying Sanity on him. And then I hit that, and he sat there. He wasn't happy, understandably. Like there was some salt.
Yeah.
Fair.
That's the point. As this deck, produces, it's fine.
Yeah, and I took him out of the game, and he was just... Dude, honestly, here's the thing. I love milling, but when I'm on the opposite end of mill, fuck that shit. I hate it. I hate it. But I don't hate it the way I hate Toxic and Urza. But
she's got a newfound hate for Urza. Drake, watch out.
It's not newfound. Nothing is new about hating mono blue Urza, but I'm gonna build the Esper Urza. I'm just gonna I'll get the precon eventually.
So, all right, one last question before we pack it up here. Are there any future cards or future sets that you're excited to see and think might fit well in this deck?
Okay. You know what? We don't have to keep this too short, because now we're going to get into a discussion about something, how I feel about the sets of Magic, just for a second here. I'm not looking forward to really many sets because there's too much coming out, and this is just my opinion. I just want to say this. I'm allowed to feel this way, okay? There's too much product coming out, and it's super overwhelming that I can't keep up. Not just in a financial aspect, like proxy. I'll proxy if I want to. But there's too much for me to keep up with, and I don't care for the fact that half of the sets are going to be Universes Beyond. I love Universes Beyond, dude. That's not the thing. I love it, and it's a great thing for Magic. But half of the sets, no. I have a bit of Magic fatigue that I don't even want to look. I'm just gonna wait until I see any sort of singles somewhere that could be good for the deck, for new cards. But if there is one set I'm really looking forward to, pardon me, picking at my eye. I don't know if it's a set, but Avatar: The Last Airbender Universes Beyond. Oh my god. Yes. If there are any good mill spells from that set, all of them, I'm gonna put them in here, because if Katara should have milling, it should be no, not allowed. Can't. But actually, there was this card in Aether Drift that came out. I'm sorry. Good cards in that set, lame ass theme, my opinion. Like my partner said, it's like Hot Wheels. It's totally the vibe. I'm not, or even Tron, but I don't like it for Magic, but that's just me. What is it? It's an enchantment that at the end of each end step, I untap permanents. What's the name of the card? Oh, is it an Unstoppable Plan? Yes. Yeah, at the beginning of your end step. Oh, it's just my end step. Untap all non-land permanents I control. And then pair that with where is it? Lets me take an extra turn. Here you are. Karn's Temporal Sundering. So good. This is honestly just good in any deck that runs blue. There's also an artifact in Aether Drift that does some milling. It also has an exhaust ability where it mills target opponent equal to the cards that they have in their graveyard. Ooh, I'm sorry. I feel like there's definitely a hair in my eye. It's been like this all day. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to. That one I can't. What was the card? I can't remember the name of it. It's an artifact. It has a frog on it, and it has an exhaust ability. I can't remember the name of it either, but I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay. And you know what? Like, we're not talking about like future. I guess there's no future cards. Honestly, no, there's not, because I don't know. Because Commander, there isn't a lot of milling focus, I find, these days. Like, the untapping helps with Phenax specifically, because he lets me tap all my stuff. Like, that's very specific to how he works.
Yeah. Well, honestly, your deck is very scary. And personally, personally, I am afraid of mill decks in general, just because, you know, I like my cards in my library or in my hand or on my battlefield, not in my graveyard.
Yeah, but like, oh, you know what? I love the argument with milling. Say even if I just milled someone for one, they're like, oh, I could have played that. I'm like, but you're not going to. I milled it. No, but I could have. I'm like, no, you're not getting it. I'm playing a mill deck. It just wasn't gonna happen. It just wasn't gonna happen.
It wasn't in the cards, brother.
It was never in the cards. Well, exactly.
Well, thank you again for sharing your deck with us and milling us. It's, you know, keeping us, you know, legit, I guess, right?
Just keeping you in line, you know what I mean? Like, I have to try.
That's what mill decks do. You know, they make you play cards that you don't get to normally see because you have 100 cards in your deck, and mill just puts them all there in the graveyard. So,
I mean, it do.
It do. Thank you again for sharing the deck with us. I'm going to have all of your links down in the description below, so make sure you go and follow Darth everywhere. If you guys want to see the full deck in action, like I said, it was in episode 7 of Mana Dorks, which I'll have the link down below as well. And if you want to see the deck, just look it over. I will have the deck list down below as well. Any last words you want to part with us in your mill deck before we head out?
Any last words, bitch? No. Guys, play mill. It's fun. No, honestly, don't. No, I want to be. No, this is my thing. I want to do it. No. Okay, if I could give real advice, play more interaction, please. Like, destroying people's things, removal. I've been playing Commander for like 5 years now. My partner's been playing for, oh my god, has it been 2 years? I can't remember. He'll correct me. Not enough people play interaction, and then they get upset when their shit gets interacted with and destroyed. They're like, oh, guess I lose the game then. I'm like, and I don't understand why this is such a common thing. Like, I get we want our combos and our cards to work. That's super valid. I want that too. And yeah, it's freaking annoying when someone gets rid of your shit, but that's the point. What is this, Yu-Gi-Oh? Am I just supposed to like pot of greed and just like win like on like 2 turns? Like, no, that's lame. Like play interactions. Like I just don't get that. I don't know if you have experienced that or if anyone else experiences that. It's just, let's change that, guys. Just build better. In
my own personal pod, there's nothing but interaction, and we just constantly interacting with each other where we don't get to do anything. So when I do get to branch out and play in other pods where there is little to no interaction, it's a little weird for me, but I do see it a lot. Awesome. Thank you again for coming on and showing the deck. It is fun to play. Okay. That's a lie. It's salty.
You don't have to lie. You don't have to lie. That's okay.
It is a great deck. It is. I won't say it's fun to play against, but it is a great deck, and I do appreciate it. So, guys, I will see you guys later. This is a deck tech from Mana Dorks. This is Necro Ninja signing off, and that is Darth Viridian. Go follow her. Go build mill. Or don't build mill. She wants to be the only one.
Come watch me make misplays.
Yeah, come watch her make misplays. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Toodaloo. Bye-bye.